First practice cut on the bandsaw is using the push, or making a push stick. Nice piece of clear pine here, avoid the knots. Template in the middle, texture around the edges. Normally I don't use a texture to mark out, normally I use a pencil, but for this instance a texture gives us a good thick black line to follow, and since it's your first go on the bandsaw, good to have a solid line. So first thing we're going to do is cross cut it just here. So check the machine is set to the correct height. If it's not, lift it up, put your piece of timber underneath, finger, lock, correct height. Going to do a cross cutting exercise. Ooh, a little bit too long, so I'll trim this end off first. You'd cut that off anyway because it's got splits in the timber where the old nail holes were. Opportunity to use the push stick. Bit close. Then not close at all, so hands on either side, keeping the thumbs away from the line of cut. Straight through. Put that piece aside. Now, I think the smartest thing to do here is cut out the squares first, and what we'll do is we'll project that line off the edge, project that line across the edge, and that's where we cut, like so. Not coming in straight, but coming in parallel, or, is that right? Parallel? Yes, parallel to the cut, parallel to the surface you want to cut. And if you line your straight line up on the slot in the table, you're going to be in the right position. Again, fingers too close, push stick, flat on the table, run it in and out, back out again, rotate it around. Whichever hand is closest to the blade is the one that gets the push stick. So in this instance, my right hand is closest to the blade, it gets the push stick. Don't use your fingers to tap the wood away, use the push stick. Ouch. Wouldn't want that on your finger. Now, if I start cutting there, I'm not in the right line. If I start cutting there, I'm not in the right line. I need to project that line off the end of the wood and start to cut at about that position. Going to do my best to follow the outside of the black line. You can hear that the bandsaw is making a uniform noise, uniform sound. That means the blade's not too stressed. I swapped hands because my left hand came close to the blade. Now my right hand's coming closer to the blade. Swap again. Straight off the end of the timber, or you could follow the curve around a little bit. If you go off, you can rewind and have another go at it. This is a way of doing a tight curve with a narrow blade. But I'm not going to, I'm just going to run that straight off there, flick it in the bin, then go on the other side. A quick demonstration of stressing the blade. Okay, okay. No good. If you hear that, you're damaging the blade, or you're potentially damaging the blade. That's too tight a cut. Alrighty, so start from this end, work towards push stick closest to the blade. No stress on the saw blade so far. Rotating the end left and right as the radius points for the circle. There's the circle, radius point, spinning it around. Fingers are coming up into danger. You've got to keep remembering where your hands are and not just concentrating on the blade. Coming up to the reverse curve. Here I spin the other end around to keep it on line. As I say, if you go off, you can come back and have another go. In the bin, got these bits left. I can probably do this one hand. Well, no, I can. And then back the other direction in the bin. Don't really need to support that, but I will anyway. Nice and neat. Pretty tidy all the way around. That's what we want. Another technique for a very steep cut. Now this blade won't be happy to do that. A very steep cut is saw cut. Saw cut. These are called release cuts. Maybe another one in the middle there, and maybe another one there. Then we should be able to steer from one to the next. Stresses the blade a little, but then when that piece of wood's gone, the stress is also gone. You can hear the blade stressing a tiny bit. I should come back from this direction. And that's done a very tight curve in a piece of hardwood with a blade that's too big. Takes a bit of skill. What you notice though, a bit of practice I should say, what you notice though is the inside edge is quite lumpy. You can wipe it with the back of the blade to clean up that surface. The blade cuts on the front and on the edges, so wiping it backwards like that uses it a little bit like a file, and it just tidies up that surface so that your sanding task or your cleaning up task will be that much easier. And you can see it there, that's going to be fairly simple to clean up with a bit of sandpaper now. All ready for the bin. Bandsaw. Turn it off, clear the table, reset it back to the 0 position, leave it in a safe situation. The next person who uses the machine may not do the right thing. If you do the right thing, you might be saving them as well.